Shalom, shalom, Yashar Allah. I want to start off first things first, when all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakadash, which in the Petty Hebrew tongue is the correct name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to you sisters and brothers that's living in this truth, and shalom to you brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show yourselves approved. Woo, Yashar Allah, it's a whole lot going on. Now, I know everybody wants me to talk about, Charlie Kirk, this guy unalived. That's the viral thing right now. People want me to talk about the Edomite woman in North Carolina that got unalived by the Jake. And that's coming. But right now, I want to talk about what's going on the geopolitical stage. These World War III is building up. Because this stuff could be distractions for that. So I'm going to talk about World War III. We're going to talk about those things that's going on worldwide. And then, Lord willing, tomorrow, as the details come out, I'll touch those other topics. Right now, I want to talk about what's going on overseas. Because right now, we got multiple war fronts breaking out that I think a lot of people want to, kick under the rug and not really show the public what's happening. So you got Russia just invaded Poland. And Vladimir Putin been talking about doing this for years. I guess he finally did it. And Poland all shook up. So they got NATO drafting up defense plans and trying to see what's going on. We'll see how this goes. But they did, put some military, I want to say drones. As a matter of fact, I got a clip on it. We'll watch the clip. And just know it's got NATO in the uproar. NATO is totally in the uproar about it. Babylon the Great is involved in NATO. So Trump will have to get involved in some capacity if they decide to invade Poland. And so we're going to watch the clip and we're going to break it down scripturally.
Happened over the Ukraine-Poland border. How significant is this? What exactly happened over the Ukraine-Poland border? How significant is this?
So it's significant, Tom, because the unprecedented part of what the Polish are referring to there is that this is the first time that any NATO ally has engaged directly with Russian material hardware, in this case, shooting down actively over a Polish airspace what appear to be drones. They're currently out there trying to recover them. Of course, there have been other instances of missiles either overshooting, other things going into Polish airspace. And you'll remember in the very early stages of the war, Tom, when a missile overshot its target and landed into Poland, it began to provoke a lot of questions about, does this trigger Article 5? People were really, really on edge about these sorts of things. And now we're trying to figure out what does this mean, this further escalation in this conversation. We have not yet had a reaction from the White House. We're waiting what Donald Trump's commentary is. Remember, he just met with the Polish president, I believe it was just last week, and really was sort of touting very high ties with Poland and actually willing to commit more American troops within Poland in order to make it feel more secure. We've heard from Dick Durbin, one of the senators out from the United States, saying that this is a test of the resolve of NATO to protect its eastern flank. We heard from another representative, Joe Wilson, calling it an act of war. But I think that regardless, when we take a step back and we think about what this means for the potential future of any kind of conflict, is this Vladimir Putin deliberately testing, or is this Vladimir Putin feeling bolder and a little bit indifferent to these sorts of things and willing to push up against that line? And that is going to be what the Western allies have to assess and what their response is going to be to this latest incursion.
The Israeli airstrike.
So that's what I meant to say. They're at Article 4. So they're debating if they're going to go to Article 5. They're talking about getting the war stuff together. You just heard from the clip. They're deciding they're going to put more troops there. Man, they got everybody in the uproar, especially over there in Europe. So I'm about to get my first precept, because, man, guess what this is? Let's go to Mark 13:7. It says, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. So that's a rumor of a war. We're going to see if Russia's going to push into Poland. Putin did say he was going to do that. He got troops in Belarus. He said when he attacks NATO, he's going to push through Poland, because they don't have a big military build up there. We got to see now if Babylon the Great is going to go boots on the ground You know, they're going to look at the Trump administration to show they resolve. So, man, we're going to see how this thing going to go. But nonetheless, that is a rumor of a war that could break out, because if Russia attacks anything in Poland, NATO going to have to kick in. And that's all most of them European countries are going to fight against Russia if that war breaks out on that front. So we got to see on that, man. So I'm going to bring out verse 8, Mark 13:8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there should be earthquakes in diverse places. And there should be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. Man, so we on the verge where war could really break out on a big front. To me, it's looking like he got Ukraine wrapped up, because they say they went over Ukraine's air, space, and went right into Poland. So it's kind of showing me he already got Ukraine wrapped up. So it looks like Russia is making a move even deeper inside of Europe. And with Babylon the Great being allied with the European Union, which is called NATO, Trump is going to have to kick in or risk, making the beast mad. Because European Union is the beast that the Bible talks about. And it said that the beast shall hate the whore. So Trump got to really kick in to show the resolve over there. Because if he doesn't, he going to look, that's America, Babylon the Great's biggest ally is NATO, the European Union. That's their biggest ally. If they lose that, they are for sure cooked. So I'm watching that like a hawk, Yasharallah. We'll see if, they get active in Poland and really get the bussing. And then you got another war front done broke out. Let's get that.
The Israeli airstrikes in Doha, Qatar were captured by security cameras. One explosion at the back of the targeted building, followed by another in the front. Cell phone video shows people running in the normally quiet and peaceful Qatari capital. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said the targets were Hamas leaders who have an office in Qatar.
At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas. These are the same terrorists terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th.
He says he gave the green light for the strike after Hamas claimed responsibility for Monday's mass shooting, where gunmen opened fire on commuters at a Jerusalem bus stop, killing 6 Israelis. But the White House tonight had rare criticism of Israel and its decision to hit Hamas in Qatar, neutral ground where negotiations among enemies take place. The Hamas office was opened in Qatar over a decade ago in a deal with Washington's support to facilitate diplomacy.
Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal.
The White House saying the U.S. military, not Israel, notified it of Israel's operation as it was happening, and that the U.S. then told Qatar, whose government called it a cowardly Israeli attack and state terrorism. Tonight, President Trump speaking to Netanyahu and Qatar's top leaders.
He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Richard joins us now live. Richard, what do we know about whether Israel hit those Hamas officials they were targeting?
Well, we don't exactly know, Tom. Israel says it is still assessing. Hamas says that several of its members were killed, but none of its top leaders. And Qatar says that a member of its security services was also among the dead. Tom?
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
So right there, Yashara, that's very big right there, very big. So the Israelis, the Ish people, just hit a strike in Qatar. Just hit a strike in there. And why that's big, Yashara, is because the U.S. just made a deal with that country. That country is supposed to be what they call that? Neutral ground for peace talks. And you can tell the small hatters don't give a damn. It's making Donald Trump to be a weak leader. because he's supposed to condemn the Israelis for that. So this should show everybody in the world that this dude is compromised. He's owned by the small hatters. I'm looking at MAGA, the Edomites, like you're real dumb. This really exposes your guy. And I'm trying to see what type of, what type of domino effect this is going to have. Because check it out. Babylon the Great just made a deal with that country. Let's go get it. Let me show you why this big. And it's also exposing those small hatters, man, your ish people. So it says in May of 2025, during U.S. President Donald Trump's visit to Qatar Airways placed a landmark $96 billion order for up to 210 American-made Boeing wide-body aircraft, including the 787 Dreamliners and the 777X jets powered by GE Aerospace engines. This marked the largest wide-body order in Boeing's history and the biggest 787 order ever. The agreement was accompanied by the controversial prospect of Qatar gifting luxury Boeing 747-8 to the U.S. government for use as a new Air Force One. So now I'm looking like, is that deal still on or what? These dudes just got blew up by the small hatters. Babylon the Great, America just made a deal with them for some airplanes, and because they were supposed to be protected by Babylon the Great. But yet you let Netanyahu come over there and just blow stuff up. And I'm going to put a clip. I ain't going to play it, but I'm going to put a clip. The Qatar president is very hot about that. So we got to see the blowback on that. And it's showing the whole world stage that you don't want USA as an ally because they can't defend you. They're compromised to the small hatters. This shows that on a world stage that this guy is totally compromised. He's a weak leader. All of that is on full display with that one move right there. And it shows you that the other Edomites, the banking Edomites, the ish people, they're just doing ethnic cleansing. They're just running through all kinds of Middle Eastern countries. If you're a Muslim with brown skin, hey, we just gonna straight up clean you up. Hey, hit you with straight missiles. And they're just going through with like no regard. That shows you that war is spreading and war is hitting. Like, this ain't no downtime, man. We in a time of war. That's war right there. Straight up. And the USA looking weak. You got business in there. And you just gonna let the small hatters blow stuff up? And then you not really say nothing like that or do nothing about it? So the other countries that's looking at this are like, man, I don't need to be allied with USA or Babylon the Great. I mean, they're not gonna defend me. And what happened, man? This country done gave this dude a whole plane, and he just basically gave him the big FU. So that's another war front breaking out. They done already striked him. When they do that, I notice what the small hatters do is the same move they did with their weapons of mass destruction. All they do is say, you got Hamas leaders in your country, and then they just start bombing it. That's what they do. They could tell you there's some Hamas leaders in your house, your apartment, and then blow your stuff up. And anybody gonna say nothing because they gonna say, oh, it was terrorists in there. It was Hamas leaders in there. That ain't nothing but a straight play. To topple governments and take countries' resources. That's what they doing, y'all, Sharala. In the name of terrorism. That's all they doing. So this place, hey, it's cooked. It's cooked. Leader looking weak. And then in other news, another war broke out. This time a civil war in another country. See if I got it.
At least 19 people were killed in protests that turned violent in Nepal's capital Kathmandu on Monday, according to authorities. Police fired tear gas and rubber bullets at demonstrators who were storming parliament buildings. Organizers of the protests are calling them demonstrations by Gen Z, saying young people are frustrated by government corruption, a lack of economic opportunities, and a recent social media ban. An ambulance and a security personnel building were set on fire while the rioters hurled rocks at police guarding the legislature. Police told Reuters that more than 100 people, including 28 police personnel, were receiving medical treatment for injuries. Another 2 people were killed when protests in the eastern city of Itahari turned violent, police said. The government blocked access to several social media platforms last week. It says the companies failed to register with authorities in a crackdown on misuse, including false social media accounts used to spread hate speech and fake news and commit fraud.
So, Baron, you got in Nepal, that was basically a civil war. They toppled their government, man. They threw their president out. He tried to do a social media ban, not giving them economic growth, not giving them no money, basically doing what they do in Babylon the Great. But I noticed the people in Nepal don't play that. They rioted, burnt their parliament, and drug their president up out of there and demanded that the president they want be put in there. So that was the people forcing their government to work for them. That was a war. And the people of Nepal, they won that war. They won it. Look like with no guns. They show you these Babylonians is weak and stupid. Because they should have been done rioted, man. The way these Babylonian leaders be doing them over here. Ain't no reason why you shouldn't have universal health care. Ain't no reason why you should be making a decent wage. So they showed the people in Nepal, they're smarter, man. And that was a war that the people won. They won that war, Yasharala. Because when you watch more clips on that, they came out in huge numbers like, nah, we don't play that. Because they know banning social media, that's the way they get information out to each other. TikTok and all of that. And they knew it was some greasy, you gonna ban TikTok? Because they done did it over here before. Over there, they didn't play that, man. They got to be on their Facebook, Instagram. Hey, they need their social media. See what they did? So, hey, stuff is getting real crazy, man. And like, you never know what their government is gonna do as far as payback for what the people did. They might, call up Babylon the Great. Like, man, you got some troops I can use. I can get my public. And see, that right there, Yashua, lets me know why you got troops in D.C., Chicago, L.A. Donald Trump knows that stuff gonna get so bad that people gonna be rioting real bad against him. And that's why he got those troops over there. He trying to stay in front of it. He ain't trying to go down like Nepal did. You know, they up at protesting them majorly. Let that dollar collapse. Oh, man, he already know. I need troops in place. And then to prove that, I'm going to play that little clip I was about to play to show you everybody is sick of these governments. And they're protesting them. Nepal threw their government out. Like, hey, off with your head, homie. We don't want you. And Trump is getting that same kickback, but yeah, he trying to be smart about it and get out in front of it by having some military troops and ICE agents in order to try to keep the peace. Because everything is chaotic right now.
Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! What do you want your legacy to be? Let's go. What do you want your legacy to be? He's terrorizing communities in DC.
Time to go.
He's terrorizing communities all over the world.
Time to go.
Puerto Rico.
Let's go.
Free DC, free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time.
That sounds like a bunch of Edomites, man. And they up there calling this dude all kind of stuff, man. So they up there protesting this guy. That stuff gonna get bad. Like I said, one of his speakers, Charlie Kirk, just got unalived. Stuff is happening, y'all, Sharala. Like, prophecy is really taking hold. We on the verge of straight war. Civil war about to break out Babylon the Great. Don't let that dollar collapse, man. Don't let people really be hurting for money. It's gonna be up. So I'm gonna go get this right here. Cause this just hit my spirit. Cause we there, man. Them is uproars of the people. So this is 2 Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, talking about the prophecies, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. He gonna visit the world through Yahushua. Verse 3, therefore when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. That was a major uproar in Nepal. We're seeing uproars, France's economy just collapsed. They're riding in France, Yasharala. I think they done threw out Emmanuel Macron. Matter of fact, let's go get that. I didn't have it, but let's go check on that though. You know, see, France. Look, I ain't have to type it all the way in. Look, they got a new leader, man. Macron had to get tossed out, man. The government collapsed under him. And I remember him saying that. He said that a long time ago. He said the reason it collapsed is because they can't suck Africa's resources anymore. France was propped up by sucking resources from Africa. And then Africa got together with Russian backing, kicked them out. See, a whole lot of pieces moving on, Yasharala. Kicked them out. And after that, Macron said that their government ain't gonna stand without Africa. And then now you look up, it done collapsed. And they kicked dude out. So I'm saying, I want to play this clip. I'm playing this clip right here. So check this out, man. War is happening. Pieces getting moved around. And look, France's government collapses right when Russia. That's probably why Russia made that move on Poland. They probably seen that, heard word, like, okay, now's the time to attack. They weak over there. They all splintered up. All they got now is what? USA, Babylon, and Germany. That's it. Because France done collapsed.
Le gouvernement propose au pays un plan pour aller vers le désendettement, pour que la France échappe en peu d'années à l'inexorable marée de dettes qui la submerge. En 4 années, et c'est un délai raisonnable dans la vie d'un pays et de ses habitants, ce n'est pas que nous n'aurons plus de dettes, mais notre dette n'augmentera plus. Et voilà le plan. Atteindre en 2029 le seuil de 3% des déficits publics annuels, seuil à partir duquel la dette n'augmente plus.
Dirigeants de droite comme de gauche, vous êtes coupables. Vous ne pouvez pas pleurer devant les caméras les conséquences des méfaits que vous avez vous-même commis. Curieux procédé, en effet, de brandir les dettes dont on est comptable, les déficits dont on est responsable, l'effondrement général dont on est coupable pour chercher à obtenir la confiance du Parlement.
Voici le résultat du scrutin. Nombre de votants 573, nombre de suffrages exprimés 558, majorité absolue des suffrages exprimés 280. Pour l'approbation 194, contre 364. L'Assemblée nationale n'a pas approuvé la déclaration de politique générale. Conformément à l'article 50 de la Constitution, le Premier ministre doit remettre au président de la République la démission du gouvernement.
And he lost. He ran his government so horrible, they kicked him out, Yasharala. So now we got 2 world leaders gone. Nepal's leader is out and France's leader is out. And we got war breaking out on multiple fronts. What does that mean? We're going to end off this right here. This is what it means, Yasharala. This is what it means. And it's only going to intensify. Man, the Lord said it. So this is Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And what do woe go into? War. The third world war is coming quickly. The stage is being set. World leaders are being toppled. War fronts is breaking out. And I believe it's just getting started. We ain't seen nothing yet. So that means if World War III is about to break out, the MOTB is about to break out just as well. So I'm looking for that US dollar to collapse real soon. You got troops on the ground in Babylon the Great. That ain't for no reason. A public speaker for the Republican Party just got unalived, like shot through his neck. That's the act of a mini version of war. War is out here, Yasharala. And we just read right there in the Bible. Biblical prophecy. World War III will happen. So the best thing you can do is what? Get your relationship right with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That way you feel good about your lot. You're not worried about what's about to happen. Lord gonna protect us, hopefully. Because World War III is about to break out. All the major players are getting in position. And so with that being said, I hope this has been edifying. I hope it's been informative. I want to say Kwam, Yashar Allah, and stay locked in because your Yahweh Shai is quickly on the way. Shalom.